This teacher had a student that was obnoxious, and anytime she tried to punish him for it, he didn't care. If he got his attention, he would come back smiling. If she called home, he did not care. He liked lunch detentions. He asked to be suspended. Nothing worked, and the kid knew it, and still every single day he would come to class and just be annoying for the sake of it.
Limu, lamu, limu, lamu, limu, lamu, limu.
Oh my god, I hate my life. And if he wasn't making weird limu lamu noises, he'd be tapping pencils, humming, kicking the desk, driving everybody insane. One day the teacher snaps. Hey, what do I have to do to make you stop this? Kid thinks about it for a second, and then he says this. Bring me stuff. What stuff? Candy, snacks, whatever. Now that's absolutely ridiculous, but the teacher was desperate because she's tried everything. There's no punishing this kid. He just doesn't care. So the next day, she shows up with a pack of gum. Hey, here, I brought you this. Thanks. And the transformation is immediate. The kid sits down. He's silent. He does his work. He raises his hand. He's absolutely perfect, and the teacher can't frickin' believe it. Then, the next day, she forgets to bring him something. And immediately,
Limu, lamu, limu, lamu, limu.
right back to it. And according to the students, she stopped everything she was doing, left the room, ran to the vending machine, and came back carrying 4 bags of mini Chips Ahoy cookies. The kid looked at them, took them, nodded, and went right back to behaving super well. The student trained the teacher to bring him stuff so he wouldn't be annoying. Honestly, kid's a legend. This is out of control. When this neighbor's 16-year-old daughter crashes her bike into his car, hey, what the heck? She immediately gets off, starts crying, and calls her mom. The scratch looks awful at first, but he takes it to a shop, and after a few minutes of buffing, it comes right out. No big deal. So he tells this girl and her mom, don't even worry about it, it was an accident. And he thinks that's the end of it. A couple days later, the mom texts him, my daughter still feels terrible, and she wants to apologize properly. Can we bring you over a cake? He says, sure, that sounds nice. Everybody loves cake. So they show up that evening, and this 16-year-old girl is holding a cake. The mom is standing a few feet behind her with a phone out. The girl starts apologizing. Here, again, I'm so very sorry. I take full responsibility for the scratch and for crashing into your car. Mom's behind her filming. Speak louder, sweetie.
I take full responsibility.
Okay. The mom then whispers, go ahead, now ask him if he accepts your apology. But that's when he notices the phone. Wait, stop. Are you recording this? Yeah, I'm gonna post it online. It's gonna teach a bunch of kids to take responsibility for their actions. Like, what? I can even blur your face if you want. He looks at the girl and says, I accepted your apology the day it happened. Then turns to the mom and says, yeah, I'm not doing your stupid video. The mom immediately gets irritated, starts arguing with him. Oh my gosh, you couldn't even let us finish? Let us do the video? Then he just walks back inside. What a weird apology, because it wasn't for him or for the daughter. It was for the camera. The mom, I guess, wanted to go viral. Jeez. They had just moved into a house in the woods. All right, family, here we are. Go check the place out. We're gonna be so happy here. So they only been there for a few weeks. Every once in a while, some wild turkeys would show up in the yard. 5, maybe 6 of them, and they would just wander around. Nobody thought anything of it. Hey, look, kids, the turkeys are back. Yay! Well, Thanksgiving comes around, and although there are turkeys by the house, this guy doesn't hunt one, he goes to the store and buys one. He cooks the turkey, the table's all set, and now the dining room table is right in front of this giant window. Well, he puts the cooked turkey down, he grabs his carving knife, and he starts to carve this turkey. Okay. Well, as he's deep into the carving, he looks up and out the window. I kid you not, there were 15, maybe 20 wild turkeys lined up, staring directly inside this guy's window as he's carving the turkey he just cooked. What is happening? Honey, I'm hungry. Is food almost ready? Sweetie, look. They're watching us. What? He lowers the knife, takes the turkey, brings it into another room where there are no windows, and he finishes carving it there. And then once this guy moved to a different room, one by one, those turkeys went back into the woods. That is wild. There was a school in Florida that tried to monetize the bathroom. It's so messed up. They gave every student 3 restroom credits a month. And if you ran out, each additional restroom credit was $5 each. This is insane. The principal called it time management training, which didn't make any sense. It's more like a human rights violation. Well, that sort of student named Marcus, what's up, realized that the school just created the most valuable currency on campus. Okay, I got 2 credits left. I'll trade trade them for your pre-calc answers and your lunch. Okay, cool, yeah, deal. Marcus became this bladder broker of sorts. Hey bro, you never pee, right? No, just once before school and once at night. I'll buy your credits off you. He would either trade these credits or sell them to students who were having an emergency for a massive markup. Now the crazy part is, he began trading, buying, and selling these credits very obviously in front of teachers in the hallway, because his plan was to get caught. So when the principal did catch on, Marcus, I know what you're doing. Oh, you do you? You cannot be trading, buying, or selling these bathroom credits. Well, what are you gonna do about it, huh? Oh, well, you're gonna get in big trouble. No, you're not, because listen up. You got a few options here. You can punish me, but then I'll go to the school board, tell them that you're charging students $5 to use the bathroom. Or you can let me continue and do nothing about it. Or your last and honestly best option, get rid of the credit system. It's a human rights violation, you frickin' idiot. Out of my office now. By the next morning, the bathroom credit system was gone. And honestly, it was all thanks to Marcus. Here's what happens when your coach smashes your phone. This school's basketball coach was pretty intense. All right, huddle up everybody, time for team talk. It was one day after practice and everybody was huddled up by the coach for like a regroup thing. But this kid named Johnny was on his phone. Hey, Johnny, come on, man! This is team huddle! Give me your phone right now! Johnny hands it over, thinking he's just gonna get a lecture. Fine. Coach takes the phone, walks straight into the equipment room, and slams the door. And then everybody hears it. The sound of smashing, cracking, screaming from the coach. Johnny's stomach drops. His phone was brand new. His parents saved up for 3 months to get it for him for his birthday. He's shaking, he's almost crying. Coach walks back out, holding a mangled piece of metal and glass. Here's what happens when you're not paying attention, kid. Johnny notices something immediately. The mangled phone was way too light. He flips it over and realizes it's not even real. It's a dummy phone from the school drama department. Your real phone's in my office. Maybe now you'll lock in during team time, okay? From that day on, Johnny left his phone far away in the locker during practice. Dude, that coach is kinda awesome. Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this kid was in high school, he ran a whole server network and put it on a USB drive. And whenever you plugged the USB into a school computer, it auto-deleted all the school blogs. So you can go to any website you want. The USB also auto-downloaded Minecraft and Roblox to the computers. He was making bank, big bank, until he was expelled. Another kid at his school wanted to keep this going, so he made about 800 copies of the USBs. But the original kid shut down the server, so he asked him if he could buy the server from him, and he said sure. This guy continued the business going, selling the USBs for $50 each, and he included some software updates. Nice. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one high school had something called homework passes. The teachers would get them from the principal at the beginning of the year, and kids could use them to have one free pass on a homework assignment or one full day delay on a project. These passes were super intense too. If anyone ever tried to copy them, a void message would appear on the copy. Well, these teachers at the beginning of the year would pretty much pass these out to anyone paying attention in class. The market was flooded. Everyone had homework passes. Well, this kid had an idea. He started buying people's homework passes for $2, and he managed to buy a ton of them. Then he would wait. He would wait till the end of the quarter. That's when every class had very large projects and reports due, and that's when he would sell these homework passes back to students. He sold them for $35 each, and everyone bought them because everyone wanted an extra day to get the reports done. This kid was a genius. In total, he made over $1,000. That's amazing. She told him to wash the car, and she gave him a bucket and a sponge. You should be all set. All right, I'm on it, Mom. So he goes outside with the bucket and the sponge. He sets the bucket right next to the car. I'm gonna put you right here. Then he goes to the side of the house and grabs the hose. Okay, got the hose. And he begins dragging the hose over to the bucket by the car. All right. But the hose is not long enough. It doesn't reach. Ah, great. So he turns on the water. Fill this bucket up, but how am I gonna do it? Just gonna launch it from here. And he begins spraying the hose and trying to arch it into this water bucket. Come on. But the bucket keeps tipping over. Come on. Not again. He adjusts his stance. He changes the angle of the hose. He's trying to find the best way to fill this bucket. But this kid didn't realize that he could just take the bucket and bring it to the hose and then bring the bucket back to the car. Like, at no point does that enter his brain. His mom's watching him through the window. I raised an idiot. I mean, yeah, kinda. Times kids had the best comebacks at school. This one kid was very shy, and he was sitting in class one day when this girl was picking on him. This is what happened. Psst, Kyle. Yeah? I heard you had a crush on Stacy. She wanted me to tell you that she would never go out with you because you're super weird. Oh, okay. Hey Jane, be nice to Kyle. He's very smart. He could be your boss one day. No thanks. I don't want to be a pimp when I grow up. Screw you. Here's what happens when you're a frickin' Karen. This lady's about to board a flight. She storms up to the counter and is waving her phone in the agent's face. Hi, yeah, I paid for priority and that better means something good. Well, the desk agent said, ma'am, yes, this is economy plus, so you'll be boarding in group 2. Just a few minutes, okay? Now, boarding hadn't even begun yet, but this lady loses it. I'm pretty sure I paid for a better plane ticket. You know what? I have so many followers. I'm gonna ruin you for this. This airline sucks. That's fine. Okay, I don't care. Just step back. Now, here's the thing. She threatens that she's gonna make a terrible video about the airline to ruin their reputation or to get this person fired, but no one cared. The thing is, that desk agent was actually gonna upgrade somebody to first class because there was one first class seat open. But now, it definitely wasn't gonna be her. Oh, sir. Oh, yeah? What boarding group are you? Now, he's saying this loud enough for the lady to hear. Group 6. Well, it's your lucky day. I'm upgrading you to first class. And ma'am, I'm downgrading you to group 6. Now this entire time, a bunch of other passengers were watching this thing go down. They were invested, and they cheered. Stop clapping! Screw you! And she threw a fit, and she was thrown out of the airport. Good. Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this kid was in middle school, he would make these things all the time. They were called paper wasps. These folded pieces of paper you put in a rubber band and you shoot them at people. Well, this kid would occasionally sneak up on his friends and attack them with his paper wasps. And yes, they hurt very bad. But nobody ever got back at him because for some reason, his paper wasps were far superior than anybody else's. So this kid got an idea. He started making tons and tons of paper wasps. His secret in making his paper wasps was using the right amount of paper. And after it was done and folded, he would staple the tip. The staple was used solely to increase pain on impact. Well, business was absolutely booming. The kid was pretty much an arms dealer at his school. Eventually, because of his business, full-blown battles were happening throughout the school day every single day. He was eventually shut down, but in total, he made over $400. People who are having the worst day. This lonely puzzle piece was found in a parking lot, and I bet you somebody somewhere is losing their mind. This person's daughter spilt a milkshake in the back of her car. Yeah, that'll take a while to clean up. A family's house cat tracked down the hidden stash of catnip, resulting in catnip all over this person's clothes and all over their house. That cat must have been fiending. This dude got his sofa stuck and now needs professional help to get it unstuck. He's paying $25 for anybody that can help him. This dude just wanted a cup of hot chocolate, but when he got the hot chocolate, there were tons of dead ants floating in there. How does this even happen? Before I get to the nastiest one, this app pays you to learn about money. And if you're not learning about money, then what are you doing? If you want it, get it right here. Make that money. And this cockroach who completely ruined this person's morning. If I saw that, I would just throw the whole house away. So this kid gets paired with the laziest person in class for a group project, and he decides to handle it in the most savage way possible. They're supposed to be splitting the work 50-50. 50-50. So he messages his partner one night, hey, you want to do the research for the slides? The next day he responds, I don't know, you pick what I do. So the guy decides to split it in half. All right, I emailed you half the slides, send me yours when you're done. Because that sounds fair, but then after that, radio silence. Yo bro, did you finish? Nothing. He tries talking to him during school. Hey dude, gotta go man. The heck? It's the night before the project. Yo man, are you done? Partner responds, yeah, don't worry about it. Presentation day, they're up third, and this guy's got his part ready to go. Clean, put together. He did his research, he's solid. His partner shows up with nothing. Literally nothing. Bro, where's your part? I thought we're just gonna wing it. The teacher calls him up. Okay, let's see what you two have. They stand up and this kid goes first. He goes to his slides. Okay, so we each did half of the work. I'm gonna go first. He presents it flawlessly. He's confident, well-researched, and then he looks to his partner. All right, man, your turn. He freezes. The partner gets up there to try to wing it and he presses the button to go to the next slide. And all the slide said was, this section was assigned to Carlos. Bro, you didn't do it? You didn't do your part? No. He gets full credit. Yes. You get 0. The kid sat down, proud of himself, while his partner stood up there completely shocked. The rest of the class just laughed. Yo, that's savage. This is what happens when you get locked in the school bathroom. So he asks to go to the bathroom. He walks down the empty hallway, pushes the bathroom door open, and does his business. But when he's ready to leave... What the heck? The door won't budge. It's like somebody locked it from the outside. He's pushing, pulling, nothing. He checks his phone. Crap, there's no signal in here. Now at this point, he's already been gone 8 minutes. So I guess he does the only logical thing. He looks at the ceiling. Crap. He steps on the sink, he pushes open the ceiling tile, and he army crawls through the drop ceiling. Now he thinks he's going towards the hallway, he hopes so, and right when he thinks he's above the hallway, he lifts the tile open, but he falls right through. There you are. Right there was his teacher and the vice principal. What on earth are you doing? The bathroom door was locked, so you climbed through the ceiling? I mean, I couldn't just stay in there, right? Well, you could have knocked or yelled for help. Also, the bathroom's not locked. Here's what happened. When he got in the bathroom and did his business, he was about to leave. And he tried opening the door, but it wasn't the bathroom door, it was the supply closet door in the bathroom. They looked very similar. But he panicked, didn't look around to see if the actual door is right there, so he climbed through the ceiling. You know what? Just come to my office. You're getting detention. And he got a detention for property damage and making terrible decisions. Black markets kids ran in their schools. 7 years ago at this one high school, there were black markets for everything. Candy, chips, soda, cell phones, iPods, you name it. But the crazy thing is, one kid ran every single one of those businesses. His name was Pablo. He was a mysterious kid, but anytime anybody wanted something, they would go to Pablo. Hey, you're Pablo, right? What do you need? I was told you might have the answers for Mrs. Smith's chemistry test later today. Oh, the 8th period chemistry test? Hold on, let me see. $25. Everyone at school was always so amazed that Pablo had literally everything. So some kids started to challenge him. Hey, yo, Pablo, what do you need? I really want a toaster. Like a toaster for toast? Yeah, like for toast or Pop-Tarts. All right, bet. Meet me after lunch. And after lunch, hey, Pablo! Bro, keep your voice down, man. I'm running a business here. Did you get it? Did I get it? One toaster, man. Hey, $25. She got the question right. No, she didn't. This girl comes home from elementary school one day. She's genuinely upset over one quiz question that she got wrong. I wrote here that a tomato is a fruit. Sweetheart, a tomato is a fruit. You got that question right. And yeah, a tomato is scientifically a fruit. End of discussion. So the dad writes a note to the teacher. Hi, my daughter got this question wrong, but technically she is correct. A tomato is indeed a fruit. Thank you. The next day, his daughter comes home. Hey, Dad, she wrote you back. This is what the note said. She writes this. While a tomato is technically a fruit, because it is used like a vegetable, we are teaching students that it is a vegetable. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. The dad's just sitting there for a second, like, you're literally purposefully teaching students the wrong thing. A couple weeks later, that school has an open house. All the parents are invited, and that teacher is there. He walks up to her. Hi, I'm Mr. Johnson. Hi. So, what other completely false things are you teaching my daughter? She was stunned. Have a good night. Honestly, that makes no sense. Teachers who definitely shouldn't be teaching. At one elementary school, this teacher was teaching a lesson when one of the kids in the class was kind of sniffling and blowing his nose. She got irritated, and this is what happened. And that class is exactly why Christopher Columbus is my hero. Anyone have any? Does anyone have any? That's it. Kyle, meet me in the hallway right now. Miss, did I do anything wrong? You want to blow your nose? Then blow away. Next time, be more respectful. Times kids gave the best comebacks in school. This one happened during the lockdown when everyone was taking classes on Zoom. This kid was at his house in Zoom class when he got up to get a glass of water. This is what happened next. Kyle, where did you go? What? Sorry, I can't hear you. What'd you say? Why did you get up and leave? Where did you go? I went to get a glass of water. Next time, ask me, please. That is incredibly disrespectful to me and the rest of the class for you to just leave. Excuse me? Stop talking, okay? This is a warning. How is this bitch gonna tell me I can't get water in my own house? I beg your pardon? Is your mom home? Bring her on screen right now. Okay. Hey, Mom, come here. Yeah, what's up? Mr. Stevens just yelled at me for getting a glass of water. What? How is this bitch gonna tell you you can't get water in your own house? That's exactly what I said. I'm sorry. If you can't eat it, You need to wear it. This kid's parents had this unbelievably weird dinner rule. Every night at dinner, if you refused to eat your food or you got full before your plate was finished, you had to wear your food.
I don't want to eat my peas.
Put the peas in your hair. Or,
I'm too full to eat these mashed potatoes.
then rub the mashed potatoes all over your head. Apparently, this kid's parents thought this was teaching him discipline or something. One night, this kid refused to eat his green beans.
I don't want to eat them. And I can't eat my spaghetti either. I'm so full.
Well, then you better line up each and every one of those green beans in that ugly mullet of yours. And make sure you drape all the noodles over your head as well. You know the rules in my house. So he puts it all on his head. And the thing is, they wouldn't let him shower after this until right before he went to bed. So God forbid they had guests come over. What is he gonna say to him?
Sorry, I smell and look weird. My parents made me mush all my food all over my body.
Oh, that's actually super messed up. Have you ever wondered how some parents can be so cruel? There was this family where the dad had a rule for everything. No phones at the dinner table. No friends over without a 48-hour notice. Bedtime at 9 p.m. sharp, even on weekends, no exceptions. And his teenage daughter had to keep a handwritten log of what she did every single hour of every single day. And if you don't do it, you're in big trouble. Which is completely insane. Well, one day, this girl forgot to log what she did after school, and her dad completely loses his mind. Takes her phone, her laptop, her journals, her books, and her TV, everything she enjoys, and he locks them in the garage. You can have them back when you write me an apology letter. Well, she wrote one. Not good enough, do it again. Then she wrote another one. Not good enough, do it again. She did it like 30 or 40 times before she just gave up. She never gets her stuff back. And the dad doesn't budge. He keeps saying, I told you, write me an acceptable apology and you get it back. But nothing was ever good enough for him. After this girl turned 18, she never spoke to her father ever again. And I think she's way better off. That's messed up. His little brother took video games so seriously. Every time he lost a match, he would lose his frickin' mind. This sucks! Stomping around, throwing things, and the room right below him was the older brothers. Dude, shut up! His ceiling fan would literally be shaking every time his little brother would lose it. And this went on until 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. Now he tried asking him all the time, bro, can you please be quieter? Dude, it's lagging and I lost the game, this sucks. So he had to get creative. He logged into the house's Wi-Fi router settings on his phone. And whenever his brother began stomping or yelling or throwing things, he would change the Wi-Fi password. Just one character. Here it goes. Well, when you do that, everything in the house would disconnect. He would wait about 20 seconds and then he would change the password back. Then things would reconnect. Now at first this made his brother even more mad because the game would just be cutting out in the middle of it. But after about a week, something interesting happened. Because every time he would stomp his feet or throw something or yell, he realized the game would get weird or disconnect entirely. So it's like Pavlov. Eventually, he just stopped crashing out altogether because subconsciously, crash out means Wi-Fi bad. And finally, his older brother was able to get his well-deserved rest. Genius.
This fourth grader could pull his tooth out. Like fully out. Nobody knew why. Then he would put it back in and it would fit perfectly, like a Lego piece. The first time he did it, people were like, yo, what was that? That was crazy, do it again. By the next day, everybody had heard about this kid's tooth thing, and they were lining up. Yo, do the tooth thing, please let me see it. And he did it every so often, but people kept asking him this for months, and it got old, so he started charging. Okay, I'll do it for a quarter. Fine, here. Well, now it's a business. But here's the rule. Only one person per quarter. If 4 kids want to see it at the same time, it's $1. And if you give him a quarter, he does it, but you missed it, that's that. You pay, you watch him do this tooth thing, you move on. At the end of the month, he's got bags and bags of quarters. People are actually paying this guy. Teachers try to shut it down eventually, but by that point, the tooth wouldn't fit in anymore. He made his money, and nobody ever knew how he was doing that with his tooth. Hey, you gotta respect the hustle.
The ice cream truck pulled into the neighborhood. Music blasting, kids are sprinting up. One little girl ran up with some crumpled up cash in her hand. A couple minutes later, she walks back to her dad. She's not happy. Hey, what happened?
I gave him the $10 bill you gave me, but he didn't give me change back. He only gave me a lollipop. He didn't even give me my ice cream.
What?
Yeah, and then he just drove away.
Now, this dad was so mad. Who would frickin' do that to a little kid? So the next day, what that dad did was he drove to Costco and he bought a bunch of boxes of ice cream bars and ice cream treats and brings them back to the neighborhood. He set it up in coolers in his driveway and wrote a big sign. Free Ice cream. Come up, everybody. Everybody is now with their kids in this dude's driveway enjoying some free ice cream. The ice cream truck comes. Come on, kids. But no one even entertains the guy. He just left. The next day he came back, but this dad was still doing the free ice cream thing. Nobody ever went to that ice cream truck again in that block, and he never returned after a while. Good. What a freaking jerk. No high fives allowed.
Huh?
Why? Because it's assault. That was the actual rule. And no, that doesn't make sense. People couldn't celebrate high five each other. If a teacher saw a high five, they would jump in, pull it apart, and both those kids were getting to frickin' detention. And they always said, aggressive behavior will not be tolerated. So that's dumb rule number 1. Then they started a new rule. The only liquids or beverages that students were allowed to bring into school were water and milk. And if it wasn't water or milk, they would take it away. They would check students' lunch bags every single morning as they were walking into school. Coffee from home? Gone. Flavored water? Gone. Gatorade? Gone. Tea? Get the heck out of here. One student had laryngitis and his throat was hurting him bad. The doctor said he could bring tea with hot honey to school. He even had a note. But the school took that note, ripped it, and dumped that tea out. You know the rules. I hate my life. And this was a kindergarten through 12 school. And these rules applied to everybody. The school also served the same lunch every day. 3 chicken nuggets and 3 carrots. And kids weren't allowed to bring anything else. Nobody knew what the point of this was. But what I do know is that sounds like the worst school ever. This school had the stupidest rule. If it was a super hot day, kids couldn't play at recess. They had to just sit down. But here's the thing that didn't make any sense. They weren't sitting down inside or in the cafeteria or anywhere. They still went outside. They just couldn't play. Okay, it's a hot one today, kids. Have a seat. And they would make the kids sit on this black pavement. Ma'am, why can't we just sit inside? It's so hot out here. 'Cause it's recess, duh. 20 minutes later, the bell would ring, recess would be over, kids would stand up, they're sweating profusely, and they would stumble inside. Now, I guess it's better than running around in the heat. You know, kids could pass out. But still making them sit on the ground in the same heat is kind of just as messed up. And they weren't allowed to go inside. I think this was in Arizona. That makes sense, I think. This math teacher was a total freaking nightmare. She required every student to have a specific scientific calculator in her class. The calculator cost $100, but if you forgot yours, too bad. She wouldn't lend you one and you were not allowed to share or borrow off of anybody else's when you were in the classroom. Well, one Saturday, a junior named Marcus was biking in his neighborhood when he spots a massive garage sale. Oh, that looks sick. He goes up and takes a closer look and he finds an absolute gold mine. This tech hoarder was selling a box of 15 perfect condition graphing calculators for $1 each. Well, Marcus didn't even blink. He bought all of them. I'm gonna buy all of them. He dropped $15, took everything home, and he realized he was sitting on over $1,000 of technology. Well, the next Monday, he brought these to school to start a little business. He would stand right outside of that rude teacher's classroom door. It would be 5 minutes before the bell, and he would rent them out to students that didn't have these calculators. Hey, psst, you need one? I know she's tough. $5 to rent for the class period. Oh my God, thank you so much. There's a test today. I was gonna fail it. I got you, dog. After a while, word spread and people would just message him like, hey, got any calculators today? I need one for the class. Yeah, I got a few left. I'll meet you by the bathroom in 10. The teacher eventually said that students could no longer rent these calculators, but that rule never really stuck because at that point, she's just using any excuse to fail students. This kid retired at the end of the year, and he sold those calculators to people that would buy them for like half the price. But he swears he saved a lot of people's grades that year, and that is respect.
This senior class pulled a crazy prank. One night before school, they sent a few people out to pet stores to buy buckets and buckets of crickets. Oh, we got this. This is gonna be the best prank ever. Then, right before lunch, they poured buckets of crickets into any trash can they could find. Well, that day during lunch, a fight broke out. People were pushing and shoving each other. Hey, wait a minute. A crowd begins to form. And amidst all this chaos, these garbage cans got knocked over. And I guess the crickets that have been sitting in there saw this as an opportunity to go crazy. So now there's this wave, this swarm of crickets just going all over the place, and people are freaking out. It turns into chaos. Nobody knows why there's an army of crickets, and somebody pulls a fire alarm. Within minutes, the school loses complete control. And at the end of the day, pest control was there trying to fix the situation, trying to get rid of all these crickets, and I guess they did their best. Weeks go by, then months, and crickets are still showing up. In classrooms, in lockers. Years later, every so often, you could hear them at night in the ceiling, all because of one senior prank. And honestly, that's legendary.
He had a crush on this girl for months. They were in the same last period class. Hey, what's up, Carla? Hey, Bryce. Well, 3 days before Valentine's Day, he decides he's done being scared. So instead of just asking her out like a normal person, he buys one of those school singing Valentines. $10, one singer, he comes to your class and sings to your crush. All set? Thank you. You got it. Now it's the night before Valentine's Day. His phone rings. Hello? Yo, dude, she has a freaking boyfriend. Oh, man. So now he panics. That next morning, he tries to cancel. But it's too late. No refunds, and everyone's already been sent out. Well, it's last period. He's sitting there praying that they ran out of time and that somehow his order would be skipped. 10 minutes left in class. Please, please, please. And here this guy comes. We have a singing Valentine here for Lady Erickson. Oh, that's my last name. That's me. And he begins. Wild thing, you make his heart sing. He's in love with you. Or something like that. I don't know the song, but it goes on for a good 45 seconds. Yay! Now, she obviously assumes this is from her boyfriend, but then he hands her the card. And here is the card from your Valentine. She opens it up. Bryce? I didn't know that you were... I have a boyfriend, you frickin' creep. Wait till I tell him about this. You're done for. After that class, he rushes out of the door and to the buses. He goes home. And he said that was the most embarrassing day of his entire life. Yeah, the senior prank was to fork the lawn, which means sticking forks all over the school's lawn. Well, you see, at this one particular school, they used real silverware, and the seniors have been planning it for a long time. All right, guys, we have 3 months. Whenever you get the chance, steal a fork. You got it, Johnny. Brilliant plan, old chap. Every lunch period, they would be taking these forks secretly, and they were doing it slowly so it seemed like a natural disappearance of silverware. But by the end of spring, the seniors had hundreds of forks. And no other class knew. Then the night before their last day of school, they came to campus, quiet. And they took all of these forks and they shoved them into the lawn, evenly spread apart. There were so many forks. By the time they were done, the grass looked like it had grown metal hair. It's beautiful. Bro, take that wig off. And the next day, administration went crazy. And the thing was, there was only one custodian left for that school year. This older guy. My name's Mr. Johnny. Hey, Mr. Johnny, can you please pull these forks out of the lawn? I don't want anybody tripping. Oh, okay. And there he was, down on his hands and knees, pulling these forks out of the grass. Hundreds of them. Bending, sweating, he's working alone. A teacher finally came in to try to help him. Hey, Mr. Johnny, you can... Yeah, that's when he saw his face. Mr. Johnny was crying. Thank you. That prank then went down in school history, but nobody ever talked about the guy that had to clean it all up. Hey, respect Mr. Johnny. In elementary school, this guy had one friend. I have one friend. It's me. But the thing is, this kid got bullied a lot. So whenever his friend hung out with him at school, his friend would also get bullied. Dude, whenever I hang out with you, your bully also bullies me. I know, I'm sorry. So they made a rule. They wouldn't hang out at school. They wouldn't hang out at recess. They weren't friends in class. They only hung out after school where nobody could see them. That's messed up. So at school, this kid was pretty much alone. Well, one day during recess, a popular kid asked him if he wanted to kick a ball around. Hey bro, you want to play kickball with me? Sure. This was completely out of nowhere. He was shocked. This never happened to him. Well, they started actually having fun. That's when the popular kid said this. Dude, this is fun, man. You're not as bad as your friend says you are. What? Turns out that kid's friend was bullying him behind his back, starting bad rumors about how bad of a guy he was, being a complete two-faced jerk. He stopped talking to his friend altogether, even after school. And he actually became pretty good friends with the popular guy. Hey, what's up, Carl? Bro, leave us alone, man. We're having a conversation. Yeah, jerk. What a horrible friend. People who were legends in their high school. This kid named Carlos was a new student at this school, and one kid decided he was gonna bully Carlos every day. This kid was super mean. And Carlos, for the first few days, just took it. Well, eventually Carlos had enough. One day, while this kid was bullying Carlos pretty bad, Carlos took a step back, spun around, and kicked him in the face. Obviously, that kid didn't know he was bullying a Taekwondo national champion. Needless to say, Carlos was never bullied again. Legendary.
Whatever you do, be cool.
Dominic spent the entire summer preparing for middle school. He studied the map and he memorized hallways. He wanted to know where he was going because his one goal was he didn't want to look like a lost 6th grader on the first day. So the morning comes, he's got his backpack on and he's nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm ready. First class of the day is Spanish, and the Spanish class is all the way down in the 8th grade hallway, which already feels terrifying. So he's walking through and there's older kids everywhere. And when you're in 6th grade, the 8th graders seem huge. He's walking down the hallway. He's feeling good. He's acting cool. And then he sees a group of older girls, and his confidence kind of takes over. These girls have perfect hair. They're laughing. They're leaning on their lockers. So I told them, get lost. That's an insane thing to say. Did he cry? He decides to try to play it cool. He says hi to the girls, smiles at them, and winks. Ladies? But because he was focused entirely on trying to impress these girls, he didn't see what was right in front of him. A janitor, the janitor's cart, and the janitor mopping up someone's vomit. He runs into the janitor, he slips on the vomit, and he falls into the big trash can that's on the janitor's cart. Oh, loser! He climbs out of that trash can as fast as he can and he runs to that Spanish class. And all that effort trying to look cool, not seem weird, failed. Because for the rest of the year, he was known as Puke Boy. That's unfortunate. This mom spent 5 years telling everybody in town that her son was a monster. He cut me off. He hasn't talked to me in years. She would go on Facebook and post these long, crying rants about how family is everything and how she didn't understand why her own flesh and blood would just stop speaking to her.
I'm a heartbroken saint of a mother.
She was really making herself the victim. I just don't get it. I gave him life, and now he won't even answer a text. I've done nothing but love him. Well, her son eventually caught wind of all of this, and he decided he was done being the villain in this story. He finally posted a comment on one of his mom's crazy posts. He didn't write much. It was a simple question. Hey mom, glad you're doing well. Quick question, where's my Honda? People commented. The truth finally came out. A few years back, her son let her borrow his car because her transmission was out and she needed to get around for a few days. But the day he dropped it off, all right, mom, keys are on the ignition. I'm gonna get an Uber back home. You're all set. Thank you, son. Well, that day she didn't drive it to work. She drove it straight to a car dealership. And it wasn't a formal car dealership. It was some random guy, and she sold it to him. Yeah, I'll take it. Here you go. She then used that money to put towards a new car for herself. Why on earth would you do this? I needed something reliable. You're young, you can walk. I can't believe you. But she got mad at him. She said that, oh, quit complaining. You should be happy for me. But obviously, he wasn't. And that's why he never talked to her. Good reason. Everybody called this one kid weird. Pablo Scabolinda. He didn't talk much, he ate lunch by himself, always wore the same hoodie. Then there was this other kid named Mason. And Mason wasn't just a bully, he was the biggest bully in school. I'm kind of the frickin' man. He would flick people's ears in the hallway, kick people's shins for no reason. He would sometimes give kids actual swirlies in the toilet. Well, one morning, Mason's at his locker before first period, and he grabs the combination lock. He feels something. He looks at his fingers. It's brown, thick. He sniffs it. What is this? Someone yells, bro, why are your hands brown? What is that smell? Bro's got poop on his hands. Mason starts wiping it on his jeans, but it just makes it worse. Now his jeans are brown. Dude, you're gross. Turns out somebody covered the combination lock to his locker with dog poop that morning. By third period, everyone's calling Mason Poop Hands. Yo, you see that guy? That's Poop Hands. And that nickname sticks for 2.5 years. Guess who was the person that put the poop on that locker? The weird kid. I know I'm weird. Sometimes people need to be humbled. He didn't tell people about that for years, but when they heard, they all thought he was a legend. And people still call the bully Poop Hands every now and then. People who were legends in their high school. The wrestling team at this one high school would hang out in the bathrooms every day during lunch. Hey man, great practice today. Hey, you too, bro. You wrecked Johnny in that last match. But every day, there was also another kid that would hang out in the bathroom during lunch. And all he did in the bathroom was eat his lunch in there. The wrestling team started to befriend this kid. The team liked him. Well, one day, the wrestling team was at the movies. They were seeing Superbad. When the character McLovin first appeared on the scene, this is what happened. Yo, bro. McLovin looks just like Kyle from the bathroom. And the next day, when the team saw this kid in the hallway, hey, what's up, McLovin? I'll see you during lunch. McLovin, I like it. The nickname McLovin caught on. Hey, McLovin, what up, man?
Hey, what's good, McLovin?
Hi, McLovin. And when this kid was a senior, they were announcing the prom king. And this year's prom king is McLovin. He was 11 years old and he built the best sandcastle of all time. Yes, it's beautiful. It had walls, tower, a drawbridge. There was seaweed that was decorating it. It was pure art. Well, once he finished, he stepped back to admire it. And here comes this menacing teenager. Nice sandcastle, loser. And just kicks the crap out of it. Sandcastle completely destroyed. Yo, what the heck? The teenager left. This kid was upset, but he decided to take action. So he rebuilt, bigger, stronger, and this time he buried the heaviest, pointiest rock right in the middle of the sandcastle. Covered it perfectly. You wouldn't be able to tell it was there at all. And now this sandcastle looked even better than the first one. It's perfect. But as he suspected, the menacing teenager came by again. Oh, so you're just gonna rebuild it and think I wasn't gonna come back? The teenager pulled his leg back, he's getting ready, and he just kicks it. Remember the rock the kid buried in there? Yeah! Destroyed this kid's foot. Oops, shouldn't have kicked it, man. The kid limped away, crying to his mom. Some people gotta learn the hard way. Hey, awesome. Kid's funniest homework answers. This kid didn't know how to answer this test question, so he changed it to construct a banana car. And then he drew a banana car. And then he wrote, I want to retake this test. Nice try. This homework question said, what do you think is the best solution for overpopulation? And this kid wrote The Hunger Games. He's not wrong. To change centimeters to meters, you take out, and he wrote centi. I see what you did there. This homework question asked students, would you rather be stuck on an island all alone or with someone you hate? And this kid wrote, I would rather be on an island with someone I hate so I have something to eat. Kid's a savage. This kid was supposed to name every single type of quadrilateral, but he gave them actual names. Bob, Sam, Tedison, Kate, and Harry. I like the name Tedison. These kids had to draw a picture of their teacher and write something they liked about her. This is this kid's drawing, and this is what he wrote. I like Mrs. Edwards. She is my teacher. I like when she does math with us. Once again, I think this kid meant to say math. A crazy private school ruled. So this private school in a small town had this rule. Nobody's allowed to have curly hair on school grounds. Which, like, what do you mean? But this is serious. One day, this new kid shows up at this school. It's his first day. And you guessed it, he has curly hair. Hey, I'm Corey. Oh, Corey, come with me. The principal takes Corey to her office. She pulls out a hair straightener from her desk, and she begins straightening Corey's hair. When I'm done with you, this hair will be straight. 10 minutes later, Corey leaves the office with a completely different hairstyle. He was incredibly confused and sad. He told his parents, and his parents were ticked off. They complained and complained and complained. But for some reason, this small town, this small school, had a lot of connections, so the rule never changed. Curly hair, not allowed. And that is completely messed up. Teachers who definitely shouldn't be teaching. One day in elementary school, this kid who used a hearing aid was sitting in class. And this is what happened. So what do you guys think? Who has an answer? Jackson, how about you? I'm sorry. Oh, what was the question again? How are you gonna have a hearing aid and still not listen to me when I talk? I don't know, I just didn't hear the question, I'm sorry. Well, since you're not listening to me anyways, I'm just gonna take this, okay? Please don't, I can't hear without it. You can have this back when you learn to listen. Hey, yo, Jackson, you good, man? Jackson? Kyle, he can't hear you. Here's what happens when you punish everybody for one kid's mistake. This teacher caught one student throwing a paper airplane in class, but she gave the entire class detention. Detention for all of you! Every single person, even the kids that were just sitting there quietly doing their work. Well, the entire class was super mad, so they realized if they're gonna get punished anyway, they might as well do something to actually deserve it. So the next day, 10 more kids are launching paper airplanes in this class, mid-lecture, and the teacher doubled down, banned everybody from the upcoming field trip that they've been waiting for months. That's it, field trip is canceled. Now, yeah, that did suck for them. So now at this point, the entire class had nothing to lose. So by week 3, it was basically a rebellion. Every student would take their turn disrupting class, coughing loudly, pushing books off the desk, paper airplanes, humming, spitballs. Teacher kept getting angrier and angrier. I'm gonna fail each and every one of you. The good kids who had perfect records just stopped caring because they're like, this thing started off so unfair. The breaking point came when the principal walked in during a surprise observation one day and found absolute chaos. 27 students standing on their desks chanting, "We hate Mrs. Johnson, we hate Mrs. Johnson," over and over again while the teacher is, "Enough, sit down, I'm gonna call your parents, I'm gonna call your parents." Half the class was facing potential suspension at this point. The principal immediately removed the teacher from the classroom. They did some digging, parents demanded meetings with the school board, and at the end of all of this, that teacher was let go. Well, she retired. Because it turns out if you erase the difference between innocent and guilty, everybody just picks guilty, because at least that way you're having fun. That's nuts. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When this kid was in school, he was in band, and during this time, the band was having a fundraiser, and all the kids in band had to sell the world's finest chocolate bars. I'm sure you've all seen these before. Well, this dude was the top seller. He sold 6 whole boxes in 1 week. Well, the fundraiser ended, but he noticed how good of a business this was. So this is what he did. He went to the world's finest chocolate website and he ordered 8 boxes. After a week and a half, those were all sold out and he made $180 profit. Well, he kept buying more and more. Business was absolutely booming. Everyone thought he was selling these for a fundraiser, but he was just selling these to make himself money. The teachers eventually started getting suspicious and the principal called him into the office one day. Well, his band teacher came to the rescue. Even though the fundraiser was over, the band teacher told the principal that yes, these were for the fundraiser. He did nothing wrong. In total, this kid made $1,500. Black markets kids ran in their schools. In an effort to push for healthier foods, one high school got rid of all junk food in the cafeteria and every single vending machine inside the school. Get them out of here. Boss, are you sure about this? Get them out of here now. Obviously, the students at the school were not very happy about this decision, so they took action. Starting the very next day, groups of students were coming into school carrying large duffel bags full of candy, chips, sodas, everything the school tried to ban. And just like that, the junk food black market began. Different groups sold different things. Even the teachers were selling candy and stuff to their students. The principal obviously tried to stop this, but it was so out of control so fast that he had basically no control at all. This was a time of business at this high school. These people selling made tons of money. Eventually, the principal brought the vending machines back to school and basically completely reversed what he had done. Gotta respect everyone's hustle. After class one day, a teacher tells him, "Tomorrow I need you to come to my office hours." Oh, like right after school? Yes. And he's actually excited. At home, he tells his mom, "I got a thing for class tomorrow after school." He tells her it's office hours and he thinks it's a party. Ooh, office hours, that sounds fun. Let's go to Costco, we'll have you get some cookies to bring. So they go to Costco, she buys some cookies, chips, some plates. Next day after school, he's walking down the hallway with a plastic bag full of these snacks, and he's excited. He knocks on the teacher's door, smiling, and he goes in. "I didn't know how many people were coming, so I brought extra." What? She looks at the food, looks at him. "What are you talking about?" "Office hours." She closes the door quietly and says, "We're here to talk about your failing grade." It's not a party?" "No." He sits down, defeated. He talks to the teacher and they have a plan to fix his failing grade. And as he's about to leave, "All right, well, thanks. I guess I should go do my homework." And wait, I can't let you waste all the food. Let's bring out the cookies and the chips. Let's have a little party, just us two. Okay, And for the next 15 minutes, they sat there and ate cookies and chips and just chatted like two human beings. And then he went on his way. Hey, actually, that's a good teacher. This kid didn't talk until he was 5. And when he finally did start talking, he barely said anything. His vocabulary was only like 20 words, and he only talked when he was spoken to. And everyone already thought he was the weird kid. Well, one day, this kid is sitting outside of his house when his 10-year-old neighbor walks by. And the 10-year-old neighbor is a legit genius. He actually ends up graduating high school at 12 years old. But he walks up to this 5-year-old who barely talks, and he says to him, "The answer to every question is observing." First of all, I have no idea what the heck that means, but the kid listened. Oh. He takes it very seriously and very literally. From that day on, every single question he gets asked gets the same answer. Okay, you. What is 2 times 2? Observing. What do you want for dinner, son? Observing. Okay, and how are you feeling today? Observing. At this point, people are freaking out. People made meetings, there was counselors and therapists involved. For almost an entire year, the only thing that this kid would say is observing. Eventually, after a few years of therapy, he began talking like a normal person. But hey, that's kind of hilarious. This would happen across the school every single day. Different classrooms, different floors, but every day at exactly 12:17 p.m. Can I use the bathroom? 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 Nothing suspicious. Not really a pattern that these teachers could put together very easily because, like I said, they were each in a different classroom. But here's what nobody knew. At the far end of the school, in the quiet bathroom nobody ever uses, these kids would go and run full-blown underground Beyblade battles. Every day after they released from the classroom, they would sprint to this bathroom. And when they would get there, they would let it frickin' rip. They had a few of those classic plastic Beyblade arenas, and they were just going to town. They would put money on it as well. Come on, I got 20 bucks on this. You're totally gonna lose, bro. Milk! Doesn't that sound frickin' awesome? They had a blast. I would love this. Well, more and more people were kind of told about this, and more students began joining. And eventually, it became this kind of thing. They were caught and shut down forever. But nobody forgot about that. The random bathroom Beyblade battles at 12:17 p.m. every day. That's awesome. You ever wonder why schools randomly ban like hot Cheetos or Takis? There's always a reason, and at this one school, that reason was, let's call him Marcus, the 7th grade snack kingpin. Marcus had snacks. He was running an entire operation. Backpack loaded like a frickin' vending machine. Takis, Sour Patch, mini Gatorades, all marked up 200%, and people bought them. Business was absolutely booming. And it wasn't just him in this operation. He had runners. Kids in different grades moving products between different classes. He would even bring backup hoodies to school. He would change them throughout the day, so security cameras would think it's different people doing different things. He made enough money in 3 months to buy 2 pairs of brand new Jordans. Never used Venmo, only cash. But here's how he got caught. One of his runners sold Capri Sun to a diabetic kid and told him it was sugar-free, which is absolutely messed up. The kid's blood sugar spiked, the nurses got involved. The school asked him where he got it from, and this kid spilled. The entire operation crumbled. Marcus was suspended for 1 week. School banned all sorts of snacks. After that, it was like this business operation never existed. But if you went into the boys' bathroom, in stall number 3, written in small letters on the door, was the snack prices. You gotta respect the hustle. He graduated 8th grade. I freaking did it. And his school gave him a free meal card for Cane's. I love Cane's. It was his golden ticket. He guarded it like it was a national treasure. But the thing is, whenever he was driving home or to somewhere with his mom, he would always ask, "Mom, I'm hungry. Can I please use my Cane's card now?" She would say, "No, sweetie, because it's only for 1 Cane's meal. What about your siblings? They'll feel left out." "Well, I can use the card and you can pay for their meals." You think I made the money? The card has lived in his wallet, unused, waiting. Then one day, he goes into his wallet to look at it. It's gone, and he wasn't the one that used it. So now it's a full-blown investigation. He goes downstairs. "Where's my Cane's card? Did somebody use my Cane's card?" His little sister said, no. But he said in that moment, he began to smell the sauce. So he looks in the garbage can. Cane's box. You? His little sister cracks instantly. "I went to a doctor's appointment today, and Mom took me to Cane's. She used her card. She grabbed it out of your wallet last night." His mom came home, and she didn't really have a reason why she did this. This kid was heartbroken. The betrayal was biblical. He didn't talk to his mom for weeks after that. That's messed up, dude. Every kid at this one school got a Chromebook. It was for homework, and they were allowed to take it home. Well, this one kid's mom wanted to punish her kids one day, so she took away the Chromebook so they wouldn't have access to the internet. Mom, I need the Chromebook. I don't care, I'm locking it up until your behavior improves. Okay, well now, naturally, this kid's grades begin to sink because he doesn't have the Chromebook or the internet to do his homework every night. So the mom gets mad again. Your grades are absolutely horrible. Mom, you took the I don't want to hear it. So the mom installs locks on this kid's bedroom door. And it wasn't like a cheap lock. It was a fingerprint lock. So if he wanted to sleep, he had to ask for permission. The mom also changed the house locks as well to only open for her fingerprint. So someday he would get home from school and he would have to wait outside.
This is horrible. I hate my life.
He explained to his teachers what was going on at home, and they tried calling the mom and talking some sense into her, but the mom always said, I know better than the school, I know better than you teachers, I know better than anyone, okay? This went on from when he was 14 to 18 years old. At 18, he moved out of the house immediately. And now the mom, of course, is like, hi, it's your mom. Why don't you come see me anymore? You never visit. He never visits. I wonder why. Here's what happens when you sell fake hall passes for 2 weeks at school. This kid Tyler was running an entire business. He'd been selling hall passes for basically anybody that wanted to skip class. $5 a pop. The passes, they looked legit as well. Official watermark, teacher signatures, the whole deal. Everyone thought he had some kind of connection to the front office, and he wouldn't sell too many at one time because he didn't want the school to get suspicious. So it was a limited supply he would sell per month. Well, this quiet girl named Maya, hi, I'm Maya, she'd been watching this whole thing go down for weeks. She never said anything, she just observed. Well, one day she sees Tyler drop one of the passes on the ground. So she picks it up, looks at it for a second, and then puts it in her pocket. Now, she wasn't gonna say anything about it. She's like, this is none of my business, let him do what he's doing. Well, the next day, Tyler tries to sell her a hall pass. No thanks, I'm okay. But then Tyler starts clowning her in front of the whole class. You're such a teacher's pet. Are you too scared to get one of these? Well, here's what Tyler didn't know. Maya's mom literally works for the school office, and she's the one that designs all official school documents. So Maya knows exactly what a real hall pass looks like, down to the specific font and paper stock. Now, like I said, she wasn't gonna snitch on him, but now she is. She takes the hall pass that she found, goes to the principal, and breaks down everything wrong with it. The font is off, the signature's been traced, and this is the wrong paper. This is basic paper from Staples. Principal takes a few days to investigate, pulls up some security footage, and catches Tyler selling these hall passes multiple times. Tyler got a 2-week suspension, and Maya didn't say a word about it to anybody. Nobody knew she snitched. She just went right back to being quiet. That's why you gotta be careful who you disrespect. Somebody might ruin you. This guy went to a friend's house for dinner. Everything was chill until the milk came out. It was a really big family. They were at the table, it was loud. Every single person there gets a glass of milk. And milk for you, 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 milk for me. Bruh. Well, then it starts getting weird. The dad reaches over and grabs his son's milk. Hey son, let me see your cup. I'm done with mine. And he pours his leftover milk into his son's cup. Then the mom decides she's done with her milk, so she pours her milk into her daughter's cup. And this just keeps going. When everyone decides they're done drinking milk, they pour it into somebody else's cup. So like milky backwash just rotating through everybody. Now the guest, he's just like, what is going on here? If someone finishes their milk and they want more, I want some more milk, mom. Oh, that's perfect. I'm done with mine. I'll give you it. She just pours it into his cup. At this house, milk does not get wasted. It does not get poured down the sink. It gets recycled. And if everybody at the table is done with their milk, but there's still milk in the cups, they pour that milk back in the carton. And my friends, that is absolutely disgusting. Every single morning, this kid bought the same thing from the vending machine. Sugar-free lemonade. Yum. The same vending machine, the same drink, every morning. It was his routine. Well, one morning, he drops his coins in. What the heck? Clink, clink, nothing. The machine is not recognizing this money at all. He tries to press the button to get his coins back, but nothing was happening. Okay, must be working. So he goes to the office and tells them. They say that they have no control over the vending machines at all. So he wrote on a piece of paper, do not use out of order, and he tapes it to that vending machine. Okay, perfect. Now nobody else will waste their money here. Hero moment. The next morning, he goes to the vending machine and the paper is gone. So he assumes, how cool, they must have fixed it. What the heck? Still broken. His coins just gone. Nothing's registering, he cannot get his drink. So he's irritated now, he makes another piece of paper. Do not use out of order. He tapes it on there. This time he checks on it at lunch and the piece of paper is gone. but the machine is still broken. Somebody is taking his paper off but not fixing the machine. People are probably wasting their money here. He didn't want people to make the same mistake he was doing, but he was like, why are they taking this down? So he goes to the principal again, makes the principal call the vending machine company. They come out and they fix it. Yeah. But all the money he put in there was gone. They wouldn't give him a refund. But hey, at least he got the vending machine fixed. And he got to have the sugar-free lemonade again. It's senior year, middle of class, when all of a sudden people hear, look, a horse! People step out into the hallway and they see it. There's a horse just trotting down the hallway. The principal gets on the intercom and is like, everybody stay in your classrooms. Yeah, nobody listened. Kids are pouring out trying to see. They got their phones out. Yo, whose horse is that? The funny part is this one teacher, he encouraged it. He told one of the kids in his class, hey Billy, come here. Yeah, what's up? Dude, I dare you to go ride that horse. Okay. So now you have this horse trotting down the hallway, a bunch of students standing to the side, filming it, and this one kid jogs up and hops on the horse. People are losing their minds, and at this moment, the horse is heading right for these big doors in the edge of the school, and students run up and they open the doors. That's when the kid who jumped on the horse is like, go! And he gallops right outside the school. Now, the school was right next to these farms, so that's obviously where the horse came from, but this kid just goes. He's now outside of school on this random horse that somehow got in, galloping around fields of corn. And honestly, that would be the best day of school ever. This kid rode his bike to a grocery store. Yeah. He's using some of his summer job paycheck money to buy some snacks, chips, and sweets. He buys them, goes outside, and sets down the bag while he's unlocking his bike. Yeah, set you right here, unlock the bike. When he unlocks his bike and looks around, the bag is missing. Where is it? That's when he sees this kid, younger than him, stuffing the stuff in his backpack. The kid runs home. Yo, what the heck? That's it, I'm gonna follow him. He takes his bike and follows his kid to his house. Knocks on the door. The mom answers. Yes? He stays calm. Yeah, your son took my stuff. I got some groceries and some snacks. I saw him put it in his backpack and run away. I just want it back. My kid would never steal. I saw him do it. If you don't leave my house right now, I'm calling the police because of harassment. Well, he doesn't leave. They call the police, and 5 minutes later, the cops show up. They hear both sides. They then say, kid, open your backpack, please. Okay. And there the stuff was. Chips, sweets, everything. Yeah. Give it back, please. Give him the stuff bag. Cops leave, the mom shuts the door in this kid's face, and they go their separate ways. But that's so embarrassing for that mom. That kid didn't learn anything, because a couple days later, he went to the guy's house that he stole stuff from, and he threw eggs at it. What a little jerk. Oh my god, my farms! This was back in the Facebook game era. This kid's mom was completely addicted to Farmville. She'd wake up in the morning, pour herself a cup of coffee, and immediately it was farming time. Harvest, 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 plant. My farm is looking great. This mom was also kind of a helicopter parent, so she would monitor her kids' activity online as well, which meant she had her kids' Facebook passwords. But more than monitoring their activity, she was also playing Farmville on their accounts. Basically a whole digital farming empire. All of my farms are doing amazing. She took it way too seriously. I'm not sure if any of you remember this or your parents, but Farmville meant business back in the day. One day, the kids get grounded for some bogus reason, and the son, he's mad. I'm mad! He wants payback, so he's sitting in his room and he's thinking to himself, what does she love the most? Her farms. So one night, he logs into his Facebook, and he intentionally sabotages everything in his farm. Then he goes on the family computer. His mom's already logged in. He goes to her precious farm and completely sabotages everything there as well. Selling, deleting, harvesting too early. The next morning, he hears it. He's still in his bed. From downstairs, he hears the yelling. What happened to my farm? What happened to all my farms? Panic and fast-clicking mouse noises filled the air. She spends the whole day absolutely furious, talking about hackers, emailing Facebook. She never put two and two together that her son probably did this, but he knew, and it made him so happy. That's what you get, Mom. He pre-ordered a cake for his mom's birthday. Okay, I'll pick it up soon. It was a custom order. He walks into the bakery, gives the pickup name, Carlos. Okay, I have your cake right here. Then a woman steps closer to him. Hi, that's a really nice cake. It is, right? Can I have it? No, sorry, it's a custom-made cake. But custom-made cakes take so long, I want yours. The guy just turns his back to walk away, but this woman turns him around. Okay. No, don't walk away from me. Excuse me? Give me that cake right now. Absolutely not, it's my mom's birthday cake. Well, me and my kid want it more than your mom. This guy sees the kid buyer and looks at him. Leave me honest. The kid doesn't even care. The worker comes over. Hey, what's going on in here? I want that cake. The worker says no, so this woman tackles the guy. Hey man, run! Take your cake and get out of here! The guy then escapes the shop with the cake, while this woman and the worker are fighting on the floor. The cops were called, and that woman was arrested. But seriously, who crashes out that hard over a cake? Doesn't make any sense to me. She's nuts. An 8-year-old kid really wanted McDonald's, so this is what he did. In 2017, an 8-year-old kid from Ohio really wanted McDonald's, but he didn't want to ask his parents and he had no way to get there. So this is what he did. He taught himself how to drive a car by watching a bunch of YouTube videos. He then got his 4-year-old sister, they got into their parents' car, and they drove effortlessly to McDonald's. On their way to McDonald's, countless people saw them and called the police, saying, "Hey, I think there's a young child driving a car by himself." The police eventually arrived at this McDonald's, and they were absolutely amazed. This 8-year-old kid drove there perfectly. He didn't hit a single thing, and he followed every single traffic rule. While they were waiting for their parents to pick them up from McDonald's, the McDonald's gave him and his sister free cheeseburgers. That's absolutely crazy.
Sleep over at his friend's house. They're chilling in his friend's bedroom. Come here. Oh, man, you win again. Well, this kid turns his head for a second, and he sees his friend's grandma standing in the doorway just staring at him. At first, he's like, okay, this guy's grandma's pretty weird, but I'm not gonna say anything. A little while later, this kid goes down to the kitchen to grab a drink. He gets in, opens the fridge, he feels that weird feeling that someone's watching him, then he closes the fridge, and the grandma's right there. It's like she appeared out of nowhere. He heads back upstairs to hang out with his friend, and they close the door this time. His friend says, "Hey, yo, my dad's gonna run me to the store really quick to buy something for school tomorrow. You good here?" "Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm tired. I'm probably just gonna, take a nap here. Close my eyes." "All right, I'll be back in a second." Kid closes his eyes, and he's just dozing off for a little bit. So that's when he feels the mattress shift. He opens his eyes. Oh. The grandma's sitting on the edge of the bed with her fingers crossed, looking at him politely. "Hello, I'm Grandma." "I'm Grandma." "Hi, Grandma. Hi. I'm gonna get a cookie. You want one?" Sure." "Okay, shh, don't tell the family." And she goes away. She never comes back with the cookie, but his friend returns. "What's up, bro?" "Yo, bro, what's up with your grandma, man? She's like stalking me." "Oh, she just does that, man. She likes to know where everybody is at all times. I think she was watching me sleep." "Oh, well, you're lucky." "How am I lucky?" After that night, he never sleeps over there ever again.
বন্ধু তুই যদি রক্ত দেস ভালো লাগে না রে দোস্ত।
না দুলা ভাই, আমি তো কোচিং এ যাই নাই। আমার তো বাসায় গেস্ট আসছে, আর আমার আম্মু তো একা, এজন্য আমি যাই না। আমার পড়াশোনা সবকিছু বন্ধ করে দিবে, তখন আমি কি করব?
আরে ছাইরা দে। ভালোবাসা যে এত প্যারা, এত কষ্ট, এত জ্বালা যন্ত্রণা জানলে ভালোই বাসতাম। জিসান আর তুলির ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস তাই রক্ত লাগবে দোস্ত।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম দুলা ভাই।
আরে শালা, ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি খবর, কেমন আছো? বান্ধবীও তো যায় না, এতবার ফোন দিলাম ফোনও ধরতেছে না। তুমি একটা ফোন দাও তো, ফোন বের করো।
কি বলেন দুলা ভাই? ও যায় নাই? কথা হইছে, ভাইয়া বলছে যে ভাইয়া আমাদের কোচিং এর সামনে আর আসবে না, আর তোকে ডিস্টার্বও করবে না।
কারণ না, কারণ না, আমি 1 থেকে 3 গুনবো না বাবা। প্রেম হইলেই হবে, প্রেম হইলে এমনি ডিফারেন্স হবে বাবা। আমার খালি ওরে দরকার। রক্ত কেন? ইতিহাস লিখবো, ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস।
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আমি তো ভালো আছি। তো তোমার বোন কোথায়?
আচ্ছা, একটা মিনিট, আমি কল দিচ্ছি।
এক রাতে ভালো হয়ে গেল, এটাও আমার বিশ্বাস করতে হবে? দোস্ত, আমার না ভয় লাগছে।
আসতে বলুন, ওনার সাথে আমার একটু জরুরি কথা আছে।
বাবা
ভাই, আমি তো এলাকা ছাড়ুন, ছাড়ার আগে
তুমি একটা গিরাট টুকটা ছেলে, যেই ছেলে
তানিয়া আমার পিস্তলটা নিয়ে আয় তো।
কাকা দুধটা, কাকা কি দুধটা রাইখে গেলাম গো।
মাত্র সে ফেসবুকে স্ট্যাটাস দিয়েছে সে একটি অনাথ বাচ্চাকে
মানে কত স্যাক্রিফাইস করছি, এলাকার বড় ভাই থেকে রিক্সা চালক হয়ে গেলাম, আর সেইটাই করবো। যে গরম না, আর এই বড় ভাই তোর মায়ের চিকিৎসার দায়িত্ব নিছে। সেলিম ভাই ভালোবাসার লেগে জেল খাটছিল। ভাই আপনি যত কথাই,
এই বাড়িতে ওই বদমাইশটার কথা একবারও ভুলে উচ্চারণ করবা না।
ভাই মিনিমাম আপনি 17 লাইন একটা কবিতা লেখেন। 17 লাইনের কবিতা
কিন্তু ছাপাই না, সব মাথার ভিতরে থাকে। যখন পড়তে ইচ্ছা করে মাথা, আমি জানো ওরে বাপ করে দেবো। আর আমি কি কমো জানো, কমু তানিয়া বলাবো কেমনে বেটা, কস না কেন, বেটা।
এটা পড়ে আপনার প্রেমে পুরো উত্তরে পড়ে যাবো। আর উত্তর আপনি পারবেন ভাই, আপনি পারবেন।
ও 700 লাইন লিখবো, আর বাদ বাকি 300 লাইন আমি লেখা বলাম।
একটু নামিয়ে দাও। মানে ও ছাড়া পাক না পাক তাতে আমাদের কি?
এলাকার কি অবস্থা দেখলে?
এই তো ভাই ভালো সবকিছু।
ভাই স্কুলগুলো আমরা অনেকক্ষণ ধরে আপনার লেখা রয়েছে, ঝুলি কিন্তু চিন্তা করে লেগেছে ভাই।
ও ভাই আমিও সেইটাই কই। মানে ওর মাইয়া তানিয়া নিজের কি মনে করে কিচ্ছু বুঝি না। ওকে আমার থেকে দেখতে বেশি সুন্দর।
আবার আসবো স্যার। আগে আপনার বাসায় আসতে গেলে পা কাঁপতো, এখন আর পা কাঁপ না। কবিতা লিখতে হইব, কয় লাইন লাগছস দে, নাহলে কিন্তু আমি তোকে পিটা মুতে।
লাগতে হইব না ভাই, এটা স্যার আপনি যেটা করবেন এটা করবো। কোন খুন খারাপি করে কিন্তু কবিতা লিখতে পারবো না।
কোনো মাপ নাই।
এটা পড়ে আপনার প্রেমে পুরো উত্তরে পড়ে যাবো। আর উত্তর আপনি পারবেন ভাই, আপনি পারবেন।
এত কিছু ফালানোর সিস্টেম জানোস, আর প্রেমে ফালানোর সিস্টেম জানোস না? কথা তো একেবারে ফালায় দেওয়ার মতো না। আগে যদি তোরা গুলিও করস, আগে সালামটা তুই আনো।
আপনার ছেলেকে আমার এত পছন্দ হয়েছে যে আমি তো বিয়েতে রাজি হয়ে গেছি।
জীবনটারে আজকে 50% সাকসেস মনে হইতেছে।
সেলিমের মতো এরকম মহল্লার একটা বড় ভাই যদি থাকতো, তাহলে আজকে তোর নিশ্চয়ই বদমাইশের কথা। শোনো একটা কথা
ভাই বলবো না, এত
করি না ভাই।